Good morning, everybody, and Merry Christmas. I kind of need my glasses now. My eyes are getting so bad. Okay. Good morning. It's Christmas time here in Bangkok. Christmas Eve there in America. And anyway, around the world, it's a Christmas holiday. So we'll just say Merry Christmas to everybody. Um, it's another Christmas here. Grateful for the for one more year. Grateful to be above ground. Grateful for Christmas. Grateful for another coffee in Bangkok. So I hope all of you are doing well. Basically today I'm just saying Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. All that good stuff. I am back now in Bangkok, which is great. Back with the family, doing my thing. And now, exchange rate. Oh, I've been talking about this for a while. And I used to say anything above 32. Hey, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too. But I used to say, anything above 32 was good. Anything above 32.5, and my toes are tapping. Anything above 33, and I'm happy. I mean, it's great. Life is great, 33. But now it's down to 31.10. And the other day I did a video, what was it? 31.75. And people were saying, it's not that much. Listen, it's almost 10%. It's 9% of a difference. When you live in Thailand, and I don't get paid in Thai baht, I get paid in dollars. So when you get paid in dollars and you're losing almost 10% of your money, that's a lot. Now, it hasn't really made that much of a difference in my life yet. But, if it was to go down to 25, it would make a difference. Things would be different. I'd have to tighten my belt. At 31.1, I don't like it. It's just not good. But what are you going to do? Other than to carry a ton of money, it doesn't matter what you do, because no matter what you do, you just can't get around it. So, you're going to you just have to deal with it. That's the only thing. Unless you earn in Thai baht, which I don't, then, you're out of luck. But this is Christmas time. We want to focus on the positive. Listen, the exchange rate is what it is. You can't do anything about it. You just have to learn to live with it. And you have to just kind of figure out what to do. And like I said, it's not so bad now where it's killing me or it's killing a lot of people. I think some people are affected by it, and maybe it may eventually make them go elsewhere or go back home. For me, I don't see that happening. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. I mean, it is what it is. Money is money, and we all need money to live. But this is just the way that it is. And hopefully it will level out at some point, and maybe we'll get back up to 32, or at least it'll stay above 31. So, anyway, the air quality here in Bangkok is a miserable 117. No, it used to be 58. For Brits. Oh, okay. I was going to say I was here when it was 56 baht to the dollar. Many years ago. I think it was 97. I can't remember when. But yeah, that was a long time ago, and I was loving it then. It was great. You bring $1,000 over, you get 57,000 baht. Now you bring $1,000 over, you get 31,000 baht. So what, oh, it's not that much of a difference. I see all these people going, oh, if you can't handle the difference, you shouldn't be there. Oh my God, shut up. Really? You got to deal with reality. And for some people, it's no big deal. Okay, great. I understand. It's not that big of a deal to me, but I feel it a little bit. I see it, and I see the cost of living going up here in Thailand. And let me see here. Let me see something here. I went yesterday. I got back. I've been back a day. And I went yesterday to my little phone stall that I go to. There's two phone stalls that I go to, phone shops that are just, they're just phone shops. That's all they are. They're not like Apple. They're not Samsung. They're not an authorized dealer. They just sell phones. They sell cases and fake stuff and all that kind of stuff. So, I've been going to this place for, oh God, it's probably been 15 years. And I know the people. And so I said, listen, my battery, look at this. It's like 75% at full charge. How much is it? 1,900 baht. And this is not an Apple battery. They told me ahead of time. They said it's got a 1-year warranty. And, if you want it, you want it. If you don't, go to Apple. Well, now Apple used to be 1,500 baht. That was about maybe 5 years ago, because I got my battery changed on 2 occasions, and it was 1,500 baht. That's it. Now it's 3,500 to 4,000 baht, depending on your phone. So tell me there hasn't been an increase in pricing in Thailand, and costs have not gone up. They have gone up across the board. But some things have not gone up at all. I mean, listen, my rent is the same amount. I'm glad. If my rent had gone up to 14,000 baht, I wouldn't be here. If it doubled, I would not still be here. Milk is staying under 100 baht, but I think that's just because they want to keep it under 100 baht because it looks good. If you make it 105 baht, you might as well make it 110 baht. Bacon has gone up, 10%, 15%. And, the thing is that what I spend most of my money on is food. Food for me, food for my kids, food for everybody. That's what we spend our money on. Try buying salmon in Bangkok. Okay? You want to buy salmon, it's going to be expensive. Yes, I did like my excursion. I had a great time. I'll talk about that in a minute. It was fantastic. Let me just do this. There we go. So, prices go up, prices go, they rarely go down. But you just gotta, I'm sure that people who are, 80 years old, they're like, well, 60 years ago, it cost me 5 baht for a cup of coffee. Now it cost me, 40 baht in Cafe Amazon, but it cost me 115 baht, 120 baht minimum in Starbucks. Which, the whole thing about water being colored by beans and having to charge a premium for that is kind of, you look at everything and it's the overhead. Even if at Pacamara, which I'm not going there as much anymore. I just buy my own coffee. And to be honest, and if you're listening, my wife, she gets all kinds of Christmas presents from these hotels. And one of the hotels gave her some house blend Sarni's coffee. And I was like, oh, great, awesome. Then I open it up and it's all beans. And I go, oh, I got to grind it. Which is fine. We have a grinder, but it's not the greatest grinder. And I have to grind really fine because I've got an espresso. But I don't have to go to Pacamara. Now, I went to Pacamara yesterday. It's 2-for-1 coffee. And they also have these little Christmas ornaments that are made of chocolate and raspberry. And I thought, you know what? I'll get these for the kids. They're 150 each or 250 for both. So I got them both. And they were fantastic by what my kids said. I'm not eating them because I'm very strict with my diet, as you guys, if you watch before, you know this. I'm very, very strict with my diet now. I've lost about 40 pounds in 6 months, 7 months. And I feel better. I feel good. I went on that trek in Umpang, and I dare say a lot of people couldn't do it because it was tough. And the reason it was tough was not the distance. Walking like 9-10 miles is not that big of a deal. Walking numerous miles at a slant like this, or at a slant like this, is tough. There's nothing you can do about it. You either do it or you don't. And there were several times when the trucks were passing by, and I thought, maybe I should just get in a truck. And I thought, nah, I can't do that. I just can't give up. I can't give up. And you know, I always remember, every time that you think you're giving 100%, you better think about it again, because you're probably only giving about 75%. And I just thought, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And I eventually made it. And that was that accomplishment meant a lot. And I am still sore today from walking that trek. And all in all, it was about 15 and a half kilometers. But what I would say is, if you are the adventurous type, if you're someone who wants to get away from, places like Chiang Mai, Pattaya, Phuket, and you don't want to be surrounded by a million people, go to Umpang. It's about 4 hours south of Mae Sot, which, you can either fly or take a bus to Mae Sot, or, if you really want to splurge, you can take a taxi, but that's a long distance, so you're going to have to pay. A bus, I've taken the bus before many years ago, and it sucked. And the reason it sucked is because the roads are so windy. There's so many curves in the road. So that sucks. This time I flew, and I got the insurance because it pays for a lot of things. The insurance pays for a few things that I wanted to make sure I had. I just went ahead and got it. It was like an extra 400 baht. The ticket altogether with the insurance was 5,700 baht, a little bit more. So, not a cheap ticket considering you're inside of Thailand. You can fly to Chiang Mai for about 3,000 baht. You can fly down to Phuket for 4,000 or 5,000. I flew to Hat Yai, and I think it was 4,000. So that in itself, I can tell you how much it cost, actually, because I have all the costs. I'm going to do a video about how much everything cost. 5,769 baht, 11 satan. Okay, and it was at Don Mueang Airport. Now, the truck to go from Mae Sot to Umpang, and then Umpang to Mae Sot, was 5,000 baht. Okay, which is about the norm. You may be able to get a little cheaper, depends on the person. They may ask you for 6,000-7,000 baht. But I mean, I wrote everything in Thai to the guy and all that, so I figure I'm probably getting about the best price that I can. Maybe I could have said, oh no, I don't want to pay that much. And I gave the driver a 500 baht tip for both ways. So all in all, it cost me 5,500 baht. Which, if you took a songtao, I mean, I have video and pictures of these songtaos. And people are sitting on top of the roof. They're hanging off the back. There are literally 50 people on the songtao. And I knew that. And I knew I'm going to be filming, so I only have one arm, and my right arm is bad. So I'm like, first of all, if I hold my arm up, my right arm up, after a while, I can't do it anymore because my arm hurts so much. And I have to kind of watch it and let it heal. So that means, oh, all right, I'm going to have to hold my left hand. Well, that means I have to hold on to depending on if I'm sitting or not, and maybe they would have let me sit. But if I'm hanging off the back end of it, I got to hang off and use my arm to keep myself from falling off the back of the truck. Because the truck, the song towel was bad. So anyway, the guy who picked me up, it was a song towel. But he was just carrying a load from Mae Sot to Umpang. And then when he picked me up, there was no load in the back. He was just going back there. And, it was a nice, I think it was 3.5 hours back, 4 hours going up. So, it's a considerable distance if you want to get somewhere. It's not like you can just go to Pattaya from Bangkok and, it's going to take me an hour and a half. No, it's not going to take you an hour and a half. This is 3.5, 4 hours on a road that, quite frankly, I was like, Jesus, I just want to get done. I want to get out of here. I want to get away from this road because the road was so curvy. There were so many twists and turns that it makes it uncomfortable. So anyway, that was, that makes it difficult. Then you get to Umpang, and in order to go rafting, you got to go another half an hour or so away. And then from there you go rafting. You go rafting for about 3 hours. And from the rafting, then you can either take a truck or you can hike. Now, most people take a truck. And there was one person, I don't remember who it was. I think it was Johnny something, in the stream that said he had been there. But he said, I did it the lazy way. I went with the truck. And that is kind of the lazy way. But it's also, I understand. If I was with my family, I would have been like, all right, listen, I don't think we all want to do this because I just have a feeling it's going to be a little bit, if it's just me, I only have to worry about focusing on me and walking and going the distance. And the roads were not good. I mean, they were huge. There were big boulders. There were big rocks. There were divots and ditches. And it was a difficult way to walk. But then when we went back on the truck, I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't believe I walked this. Hey, Jim, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, all that good stuff. I will be streaming next week. I haven't decided if I want to stream on New Year's or New Year's Eve, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. Whenever I decide to stream, that's when I'm going to stream. And we're not really practicing Christmas like, the kids were little and we've got all these gifts under the tree and all. We don't do that now. It's, I was surprised because Nicholas is off of school. They gave him the day off. Alex is home from work. Hey there, Jim. How you doing? Merry Christmas. Yes, Feliz Navidad. So the kids are home. Everybody's home, and we're, just chilling. That's all we're doing. And I was like, do I got to go get anything? I went to the grocery yesterday, and I spent, 4,000 or 5,000 baht. Hey there, Mr. Fine. How you doing? Merry Christmas. I went to the grocery yesterday. I did that. I got the phone, the new phone. Actually, Fiend. Okay, sorry. You say Fiend. I say Fiend. All right, Mr. Fiend. So yeah, when I got my battery changed, I just went grocery shopping. Then I'm done grocery shopping. My wife calls up and she goes, I'm making crab cakes. I need a few things. I said, well, why didn't you tell me that before I left? Now I'm already done. I'm done with the grocery. And she's like, yeah, I know, sorry. You need breadcrumbs. You need lemons. What else did we need? Oh, paprika. So we have a bunch of crab cakes that she made. And I had a few, which is, they were actually, she made them pretty good. I think I did pretty well eating them. Because I had three of them. They're not that much, and I weighed them out and everything, and, you know, get all the caloric intake, the nutritional guidelines, the nutritional content. I got all that. So, I mean, I'm only eating about 1,600 to 1,800 calories a day max, and most of it is in protein. Some is in carbs. And I'll tell you what, when I was walking on that trek, when I got about to the midway point, I started seeing things that weren't there. And I think that might have been because my carbohydrates had all been burned out and I was just burning fat or whatever it was. I don't know. But I was seeing things. I would see some, like, they were branches sticking out, and I think, oh, that's a man-made structure. You can walk across. There must be a bridge there or something. Then I get closer and I go, oh, that's nothing. Then I'd see something and I go, oh, that's a sign over there. And I'd get up to it and it would just be a block of wood, like just sticking out of the ground. And I was like, well, that means maybe I need to eat more carbs. And so yesterday I had, a fair amount of carbs. And I think my brain is functioning better now. I don't know. But, you know what? Let me fix this a little bit here. There we go. I don't know what the deal is. There we go. I think the sound should be pretty good. But anyway, what else was I going to talk about? Oh, on this, we already talked about the dollar to the Thai baht. It's absolutely horrible. But when I was in Umpang, I went to a place, and oh, really? Oh, yeah. I'm not going anywhere today. I think maybe I'll go somewhere with the kids, and we may do something. Probably not today. In the next couple of days, everybody just wants to chill. We just want to chill out, and I'm still recuperating. I mean, I'm still a little sore walking. My shoulder is sore. It's my neck is not sore anymore, but it was very sore from carrying the pack that I carried. And now I'm looking to do something else. And, my wife was like, we got to go to the U.S. next year. We have to go. When do you want to go? April. Okay, so to me, that's April, May. So we are going to go to the U.S. We just have to figure it all out. Maybe we're going to stop in Europe. But I don't think we're going to do what we did the last time, which is take a multi-leg journey, because it's just too much of a pain. And I don't want to do it. And also, it's costlier. Traveling with family and friends for a couple of days, I'm just going with the flow along for the ride. Well, that's good. The one thing that I realize being away, and I realize it more and more, is that, your family are so important to you. And as I've grown older, they've just become more and more important. And, I used to travel alone. And it wasn't that I didn't want my wife with me, or she wasn't important, or the kids weren't important, or anything like that. First of all, it's just that I wasn't going to make money if I was traveling with them, because I have to pay for everything, or we have to pay for everything. I wasn't going to make any money. It was like if I made $1,000 and it cost me $400 on the trip, well, I make $600. But then by the time they go, I'm not making anything. So I just thought it was better to travel alone. And I, put it out of my mind. Oh, I miss them. Oh, I want to be home. Now I go somewhere and I'm like, I kind of wished Alex was with me. I kind of wish that Nicholas would have been challenged. I wish my wife would have done it so she could do it. She could challenge herself, So it does become important. As is recovery. That's very important, especially when you're older. And, one thing that I thought was I need to get myself into as the best condition that I can get myself into. Not because, oh, I'm so vain, I want to look great, and I got to be in great shape and all that. It has nothing to do with that. Because I want to be physically prepared. And I would say this trip, I was a little bit prepared, but I wasn't as prepared as I could be. I could have made this a very easy trek had I been in better shape, much better shape. Is McDonald's better in the U.S.? I have no idea, because generally I don't eat at McDonald's, and I don't remember eating at McDonald's in the U.S. for 35 years. It's been that long since I've had McDonald's in the U.S. I don't really remember. And I haven't had McDonald's in Thailand in probably a couple of years. And any time that I ate at McDonald's, I remember eating at McDonald's, I took the bun off. I took all the junk I didn't want. I scooped off all the what is it? The sauce. And I just ate the burger with cheese. That's basically all I did. I've stopped eating all that stuff now. I don't eat any of it anymore. I'm as strict as you can get, you know? Yeah, McDonald's, I think McDonald's, and not just McDonald's, KFC, Bonchon, Burger King, all of these fast food restaurants, they're all not good for you. And it's just, I'm just going to go there and grab something to eat. No, what you should do is set your life up, if you can, set your life up to where you can eat when you want to eat. And if you can't eat, you just don't eat. And that's what I do. I just don't eat. And I mean, I ate on the road. Man, I went into 7-Eleven. I grabbed the packages of 2 chicken breasts. 69 baht. That was my dinner. Chicken breast. Now, I did have an omelet, and I had some mutard katiam. But that was once. I had the omelet twice. And I had some soup, which I told them, don't put any oil in the soup. So you can minimize the junk that you eat, but, that's not fun. But eating at McDonald's, I mean, you're just lazy. It's laziness. That's all it is. It's laziness. And, it's so convenient. I just want to go to McDonald's and grab something real quick. I don't want to do that anymore. So, I mean, I told the kids, today we're going to clean out the refrigerators. We're going to make sure we don't have any bad food in there, because we have so much food that I need to double check everything and make sure. You always fast on Christmas. Wow. I won't be fasting, but all I'm going to eat is shrimp, and maybe I'll have some lamb, or I'll have shrimp and salmon and some Greek yogurt and some tomatoes. And then I'll have a whey protein shake, whey isolate, because it gives me the protein. Maybe I'll have some tuna. I have some tuna here. I got a deal on mackerel. Shopee, it used to be I didn't want to shop with Shopee. I'd be like, you know what? Amazon blows Shopee away, Lazada away. But what is it? The AliExpress, Temu, Shane, all these, it blows it away. Well, now I'm like, you know what? Sometimes on Shopee you can find some great deals. I mean, now this is a vest. It goes on you put it on your chest. And this goes right here. I got that for like 150 baht. What else do I have? Well, I don't have anything else. I got some other things. You pay a couple 100 baht and you get a really good deal. And, I got lamb chops. Lamb chops are a little bit fatty. But if I have one small lamb chop, like for dinner, I have a small lamb chop. I have a whey protein shake. I have some cucumbers and some Greek yogurt. That's my dinner. And I mean, really, the weight is, and from the walk and from, how I ate when I was there, now I'm just kind of like continuing it. And I use ChatGPT. I tell it exactly what I eat, and I tell it how many grams. I mean, you can do it if you want. That's the thing. All it is don't put McDonald's or Pizza Hut or whatever, don't put it in your mouth. And if you do it once in a while, that's fine. I know Jim likes Swenson's. So if you want to have Swenson's once in a while, make it a monthly thing. Yeah, I don't really care about the money. I mean, it's nice you save money, but let me tell you something. Buying lamb chops and burgers, ready-made burgers that are very, very good, and steaks and Greek yogurt. You buy 10 Greek yogurts, I mean, that's $60, $65. And that lasts about maybe 15 days. So it's not cheap, but I look at it as an investment in myself. And hopefully I do these, I have probably about 6 videos from Umpang. And I have all kinds of footage. Just tons of footage. I mean, I got too much footage. But hopefully I'll do this and I'm eating right and I do another journey that's a little more difficult. There is a journey that I want to do. I don't know if I can find it here. Let's see here. Yeah. What's the name of the thing? I think it's you got to take rangers out with you. You have to pay for the rangers, which are like 500 baht a day, and you got 4 rangers. You have to pay them 500 to 1,000 baht a day. So you're talking about 2,000 to 4,000 baht a day for 5 days. Okay. Yeah, I got the stuff here. Where is it? Yeah, this is it. It's I think it's Tung Yai. Tung Yai Narasuan. Narasuan. Tung Yai Narasuan. Thailand's largest protected forest and part of Western Forest Complex. Tigers, elephants, banteng, gur, sun bears, clouded leopards, they're all there. And it takes 4 to 6 days. You got to have rangers. You got to go through the jungle and elephant country. You're sleeping in the forest. There's no facilities, which means I'll be shitting in the woods. I always think of that, I mean, I don't care, really. I just don't want to get bit on the ass by something. There's no shops, no roads. Listen, the one thing that I thought about this place where I just went, Umpang, and that made it, it was a little easier than I thought. The only thing that was tough was the trek. Being in the city there, it was no big deal. It was just like being in Wiang Sa in southern Thailand, where we have our house. I mean, it was a piece of cake. Now, they didn't have very many restaurants, and the one girl that I talked to, she told me that most of the people in the city did not eat out. And one reason is the cost, but second is because they don't need to go out to be social. They don't feel the need to be social. They're social at home. The people that eat in restaurants are the people who are pressed for time. They have very little time. And so I noticed, I was in the restaurant, good food, and I won't say the service was bad. It's not that the service was bad, but it was very slow. The reason it was slow is they had 2 people in the back cooking. They had an elderly lady working the cashier, and she was sometimes in the back directing them what to do. And then there was one girl who was running around doing everything. And, if there were 3 tables, there might be 2 people sitting at a table, I'm sitting at a table, and then there's 4 people sitting at a table. There weren't enough people. And so it was slow. I'd be sitting there and I'd just be like, okay. And then, a couple of times I was like, you have my food? Oh, yeah. Wait, just Bahtman. Okay. And then, 10 minutes later it comes out. And this is Thailand. Facts. I bought 2 New York strip steaks to cook for a chest day, $30. That's not that bad, actually. That's about the same price as here. I mean, really. I don't buy steaks all that often. My wife likes to buy them, and she likes to eat them, which I've told her, you need to eat a lot of protein. You need to cut down on your no rice, or eat half the rice you used to eat. No noodles. Cut the carbs out. The carbs and the sugar, it's not good for you. So I don't buy that many steaks. Now, what was I saying? Oh, so in this restaurant, I told him, make me a bowl of soup, and I said, don't put any oil in it. I don't want anything, I don't want any peanuts. I don't want any of that stuff. Just put, they gave me tofu and some chicken and some vegetables and the broth, and that was it. But that was enough. But I was talking to this one girl, and she said, yeah, people don't eat out much because they just want to eat at home with their family. So they buy their food. They buy it in bulk, and they go home and they eat their food. It didn't seem like a place where there was a lot of poverty. However, there were some refugee camps nearby. And, the thing that got me is we were traveling home, and I looked over and I saw all these houses on the side of the mountain. And I said, is there a road up there? I said, how do they get up there? And the guy goes, they walk. They have to walk. That's the only way. And he goes, that's a refugee camp. I go, oh, now I understand. Good morning. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to yours. Merry Christmas. How's it going, Cyrus? How you doing? So I thought that was pretty interesting because, there were a lot of houses up on the side of the hill, and I just went, are you kidding me? They got to walk up there? Man, they got a hard life, man. My guide was 10 years younger than me, and he looked at least as old as me. Some of the people that I met, I was like, how old are you? Oh, I'm 50. And I was like, wow. I thought they were much, much older. And it's because they have a hard life there. They're right, it's right on the border. And so you have some Karen, you have Thai, you have Burmese, and good to hear. Just a lot of people that, listen, I was talking to this one Burmese girl, and she was telling me that she was married. And I said, oh, that's nice. And, okay, good. My husband works across the street. Okay. And she said, he's very good to me. And I said, oh, really? Yeah, he's very good. And I said, well, so they come from Burma. They come from Myanmar. And she said, sometimes he gives me 30 baht a day. Sometimes he gives me 40 baht. Sometimes he gives me 50 baht. Sometimes he gives me 100 baht. Whatever he can give me, he gives me. I said, really? And she goes, yeah, and I just live off of that. Then I put my money in we have, a savings account where we put our money. So and I'll tell you that the place where I went trekking from was a guest house. And it was very Spartan, it was like wooden little wooden houses, all on this plot of land. And she stayed there, 2,000 baht a month. Now, he paid 1,000, she paid 1,000. She made like 10,000 a month. So between her and her husband, they were doing okay. But she told me, yeah, I worked in Phuket, and then I came here, Then I met my husband, and now I'm working, blah, blah, blah. The point is that, man, they have some hard lives. I mean, many of the people that I met and talked to worked really hard. And they were really good people. I had such a good time there. It was, I went to Calipe, and honestly, it's a tourist attraction. Even though not many people go there, it's for tourists. It's for people who want to go snorkeling and scuba diving and fishing, and they just want to hang out by the beach, and a lot of foreigners. And there weren't that many when I was there. Right now, there would be a lot. But this place was like, I saw one foreigner the whole time I was in Umpang. And he was on a tour. He was with his wife and like 4 other people, where they were on the rafting tour. Yeah, they do have a lot of those there. They have a lot of those. I've been to Lumpini many, many, many times, and I like it there. It's nice, but I don't know. I just am like, I don't want to go back there. I don't think it's going to be like where I go back and I go, oh, wow, they changed this and this is so nice. And oh, they don't have any more monitor lizards here. Or, oh, now the number of monitor lizards is doubled. Listen, when I was there, man, I was surrounded by monitor lizards. You've never been there, really? Wow. It's a nice park. It's very nice. They have a nice place to walk, and, the monitor lizards are not going to attack you. I mean, 99% sure of that. But you may find yourself surrounded by them. Hey, listen, I got to give a big shout out to Andy, a recent VIP member. And I spoke with him yesterday. Thank you very much, Andy. And to everybody else who's contributed to this channel, I just want to say thank you. And, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all that good stuff. Appreciate it. Maybe do dinner on top of bio. Yeah. Done that too, Jim. Done that. Been to the buffets that they have there. Done that with my wife. Done that with a couple of buddies. And, it's nice. Yeah, been there, done that. Now I just want to do some different stuff. And that's kind of why I'm branching off a little bit. I may still go to some beaches and stuff like that, but that's just more like a relaxation thing. There is a couple of treks that I may do before I go to, what was the name of it that I said? Tungyai Na Suwon, a UNESCO World Heritage Zone. And it's the most protected forest in Thailand. On a level of 1 to 10, it's supposed to be 9.5. This is Thailand's toughest legal expedition. Foreigners rarely get access, but it is possible. Now, that is later next year. I can't do it. I don't think I can. It's said the best months are January, February, and November. And I can't do it in February. I don't think I'll be ready. Took the ladies to Icon Siam last night. Still feel it's overrated. I've been to Icon Siam 3 times. The first time I said I'll never be back. The second time I went because I needed to go there for something. I don't remember what it was. And the third time I went because I thought, oh, well, maybe I'll go to Icon Siam. It's something to do. And then I was like, oh, God. And that's the thing. I hate to say it, but after 31 years, I've done a lot. And I mean, I went on this trip. I was talking to the guide, and I was like, well, I've never been here before. This is awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. And, he did it like every day. He didn't hike every day, but he was a guide every single day for the last 40 years. And I'm going to put his information in the video so that if anybody wants to get a hold of him, they can. But cool guy, very cool, very mellow. And, you know, he walked and he was, after, I don't know, 2 kilometers, he started pulling ahead of me. And by the time I got there, he got there a half an hour before me. He was there a half an hour earlier. The forest I went to for the last week was Umpang Wildlife Sanctuary. And like I said, one foreigner the whole time I was there. That's all I saw. Everybody else was Thai. And we slept they have a campground, which is great. But there was 2 Thai guys sleeping next to us, you know, a little ways away from us. And they had everything. They had a fan. I have video and pictures and stuff. But they had a fan. They had a grill. They had all kinds of, they were set up. They had their own tents. And then a ways away, there was like 3 or 4 Thais that were camping there. And that was all the people. And I went to the waterfall. That was it yesterday? No, it was day before yesterday. I went to the waterfall and my guide said to me, listen, you know, he would go if I wanted him to go. He goes, you don't need me. Don't worry about it. There's a path. You can take it. It's just, you know, and it's not that hard. He said, so don't worry about it. I said, all right. He said, it's very cold out and, you know, I'd like to sleep. I said, okay, go ahead. No problem. I don't need you. You know, I'm not like the needy kind. I go, all right, fine. So it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I got up. I was like, are they up? I want to have like some hot coffee or something. But nobody was up. So I just said, all right, that's it. So I brought my camera, a bottle of water. Actually, I didn't bring a bottle of water. I found an unopened bottle of water at the waterfall. And I used that. I drank from that. Because I forgot my bottle of water, a rookie mistake. But I walked up to the waterfall, and I was in the forest. It's a mile, a kilometer and a half, which is not that far. It's about a mile. But there's a slight incline, and I was sore. But I thought, all right. So I walked out into the jungle, and I was completely alone. There was nobody else. There were no Thais. There were no foreigners. There was nobody. And I was like, wow. And I just stopped. And I went, it's so quiet here. This is awesome. You are not allowed to swim there. I don't know what video you saw. You are not allowed to swim in these pools. Nowhere. Nowhere in that, where I went along that path where there are waterfalls. There were actually 3, but really 2 places where there are waterfalls. You cannot swim anywhere. You're not allowed to. The water is way too strong. The current is way too strong. You will die if you go swimming there. And actually, I tried to go up to the second level because there are different levels. The only reason I didn't go was I started to go up, and I just was looking for the path, and I go, there's no path here. Where am I supposed to go? How do I go up there? I don't know. And I could have went through the water. I could have had to, it would have been ankle deep or knee deep or something like that. I could have went through the water and then continued up, but I was completely alone. There was nobody with me, and I thought if I slip, it was very, very slippery. And I thought if I slip and fall and something happens to me, that could be it. And I just thought, I just don't, it's always about risk versus reward. I haven't had a chance to make a video. I just got back. So, no, I haven't had, I got hours and hours of footage I have to go through. So I will make a video. I will make a couple of members only videos that they should go up soon, and they will just be clips. I have a lot of footage. Okay, I have footage rafting, I have footage trekking, I have footage at the waterfall. I have footage on the road, the curvy road. I actually have footage going back. I just have footage in the village. I have a lot of footage. So yes, I am going to make many videos about this. But anyway, I get to the waterfall and I'm like, man, it was spectacular. There's probably 10 waterfalls. There's like a couple big ones. One really big one, and then there were other waterfalls at different levels. There's like 10 waterfalls. And supposedly because the water was not as high as it can be, so it wasn't at its most spectacular. But I couldn't go up to the next level. I know you can or you could at one point, but I don't know about now. But I didn't go. I stopped short and I went, I'm turning around. And it was tough to get down too. But it was still that was the payoff to get there and just go, oh my God. It was the most incredible waterfall that I've ever seen in Thailand. It was spectacular. So if you're looking for a place to go, that is a good place to go. Yeah, I've been in Nakhon Si Thammarat, been to some waterfalls there, been to the Emerald Lagoon, and there's all kinds of places I've been there. I've been in the South quite a bit. I've done a lot in the South, but maybe I should have said, did you take footage? I wasn't expecting you to have released edits. Yeah, I took a lot of footage. I mean, I was filming the whole time, which can be a bit of a pain because sometimes you just want to go and experience everything, just look and go, wow, And I did do that too, but I shot a lot of footage. But I mean, really, the waterfall was absolutely spectacular. I mean, it was a good payoff. And then, I'm done and I'm like, oh, now I got to walk back. And I'm walking back and I'm like, oh, I got another 1.5 kilometers to go back. I've got to go back. And I thought, all right, well, one foot in front of the other. Finish that off. I get back and I thought, you know what? The lady's got to be open now. She's open. I went and had an Ovaltine, which I don't usually drink Ovaltine. But man, when it's cold, and I didn't want coffee because the coffee is like sludge. It's like the coffee you have a pot of coffee and it's sitting on a burner and it sits there all day. It tastes like crap. So I didn't have any coffee. And I'm like, it's not like they got espresso machines there. No, there was none of that. You're getting basic stuff, really, really basic stuff. And, I was happy to have an omelet. So I had Ovaltine. My guide, Det, was drinking an Ovaltine. He goes, oh, you should have an Ovaltine. And I go, oh, no, I don't. And then I thought, it's very cold and I could use something hot. I thought, it's like a hot chocolate. Okay, I'll have it. So I had that. And that was a payoff. And then, he goes, I already packed everything up. I go, what? He goes, yeah. He goes, everything's packed up. He packed everything up for me, which I didn't expect, which was great. And I appreciated. And I didn't know it, but those were his tents. I thought they were the park's tents, but they weren't the park's tents. They were his tents. So that's why he packed them up. But it was great that he did that. And then we didn't have a ride back. We had no way to get back. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I'm speaking English now, Steve. Oh, what teen? Sometimes I catch myself, I'm speaking English and I'm supposed to say it with a Thai pronunciation. Or sometimes I say it with a Thai pronunciation and I'm speaking English and people don't understand me. But yeah, we didn't have a ride back. We had no way to get back from the waterfall. And it's 50 kilometers to go to the city. And, I knew this. He goes, well, the worst case scenario is you're going to have to pay, like for a private vehicle, that's 1,800 baht. And I go, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't really want to pay 1,800 baht for that. And then he goes, other than that, he goes, we can catch a ride and then get to the main road and take a songtao, which the songtaos, like I said, were extremely full. I'm talking, you got 50 people. You got like 10 people sitting up on the roof. You know, you're talking about Burmese guys, Thai guys, Karen. You're talking about all these people. They just want to get to where they got to go. And the songtao was weighed down. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, whatever, you know. I mean, I'm easy. You know, I was like, okay, whatever. And he goes, or maybe we'll get lucky and catch a ride the whole way. So these guys that were camped next to us, I don't know why. They just camped there one night and then they didn't want to go to the waterfall, which I don't understand that. But we got a ride with them. He goes, okay, no problem. We get to the main road now. All right, Jim, have fun. Take it easy and have a good holiday. I'll talk to you later. So we get in this guy's truck. The guy's like, okay, come on, let's go. And, you know, they spoke a little English, and it was cool. We were chatting. And then the next thing I know, he comes up to me, and he goes, no, we don't go with them. And I said, what? You know, my pie. I said, okay. I get my pack. We get out. And he goes, okay, see you later. And next thing I know, his friend drives up, and he goes, we go all the way to Umpang. I said, oh, okay, very good. So we got a ride to Umpang. And he goes, he takes us to my guest house. And then I didn't have change. I wanted to give him a tip. You know. And so we had to go to 7-Eleven. He takes me to 7-Eleven. You know, I mean, it's an ordeal. You know, it's a journey, and a lot of foreigners don't want to take this kind of a journey. They don't want to do this. They don't want that. But he did tell me, he said, oh, I had a guy the other day. He was about 65 years old, and he was very fit, and he did this journey with me. And I said, okay, well, now I know he did it, so I got to be able to do it. Which, you know, that prompted me to finish because, and when there was, I was just about done. I thought I was getting to the end, and this truck passed by. I'm exhausted. You know, I'm like, oh, man. So they said, oh, you want to ride? And I said, well, how far to the campground? And they said, about 3 kilometers. I went, no problem. I walk. It's all right. I'll walk. So I just finished walking then because I knew. And then I hit the entrance and I go, hallelujah. I'm at the entrance and it can't be that much more. I go, it can't be more than a kilometer away. And it was only like a couple hundred meters. And that was it. So that was great. It was a great time. And I feel energized because of it. And I thought to myself, if I can do this, I have to do more. I can't just stop here and not do more. And that's what I may turn the channel into, something like that, to where I take trips, where I get myself into top physical condition, and I go on these gnarly trips and I take videos. I brought my drone. I got drone footage. I got all kinds of footage. And that may be what I start doing. Because I can take, in about 3 or 4 months, I can take another trip. And then 3 or 4 months after that, I can take another trip. And then after that, I can do the gnarly trip if I'm in shape. And I think I can do it. And then after that, I don't know. Then it's on to Laos or maybe Burma and Putao. I don't know. But, you know, I'm taking one step at a time. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. Now, one thing that I want to say is that I managed to, I got my Wise card yesterday, which is fantastic. So it took 2 times to get my Wise card, but I finally got it. I activated it, and now I'm like, yes, all right. Yeah, I mean, you know what? There are people who quit and there are people who don't quit. And I thought, and let me tell you, after going up the hill, I was like, oh my God, this is so much harder than I thought. I go, I can't believe it, you know. But I thought, all right, just keep going. And I just thought, man, I'm tired. But I thought, okay. I thought, I'm 63 years old. And I thought, it's all right, just keep going. Then there was a sign that says, The next 2 kilometers, you're going downhill. It's all downhill, and it's at a steep angle. And I thought, okay, well, this is great. I'm going downhill. Yeah, downhill is better than uphill. No, downhill is hard on the knees, hard on the calves, hard on your quads. I'm going downhill, and I would stop to rest. There was no rocks where you can sit, no logs where you can sit down. And we did see a snake going down. We saw a snake, and it was dead. It was like a green viper or something. And I would stop to catch my breath and just to take a breather. And I would have to hold myself from falling downwards because the angle was so steep. And the one thing that I'll say, and if I had known, I would have brought a couple more packs. I brought 4 packs, 4 electrolyte packs, Onida. They have no sugar in them. Or like 0.1 gram of sugar or something like that. And I brought those packs. I drank one before I left, and I had 3 packs in my pack. No, I had 2 packs. I had 2 in my pack. And I had, water bottles because I was smart enough to bring a water bottle with me. I had 3 water bottles, and so one of them I had drank. Then the next 2 water bottles, I put the electrolyte in there. And what I would do is when I started getting really tired, I would stop. I would rest for a couple of seconds, maybe a minute, and I would drink some of that electrolyte. And then I'd say, all right, just keep going. Just keep going. And the next thing you know, I would feel like energized. And I'd say, all right, okay, I can do this, all right. And I would feel that way for 15, 20 minutes. And then, I'd get tired again and I'd be like, oh, this sucks. And I'd just stop. And my legs were they were shaking. The front of my calves, my quads, they were just shaking. And I thought, this is not good. And I thought to myself, well, I'm not going to die from this. I've got water. If I don't show up in a half an hour or so, he's going to come back, or somebody will see me. Somebody driving will see me. So I thought, I might as well push it, And I just thought, if I'm going to fail at this, I'm going to fail when I collapse, and I can't go on. I just physically can't do it. And I thought, but I think I can do it. And then I did, so. But the electrolyte helps. Believe me. You drink electrolytes... and you just keep it, it's like drinking a Gatorade or whatever, but these don't have sugar in them. And it was very good. So anyway, and like I said, I got the Wise card when I come home, which is just, oh my God, it's so good to have the Wise card because it's like having another bank account, and you can just immediately send money very, very inexpensively. You can put money into different accounts for, you can make a Thai account, you can have a Swiss account, you can have whatever you want so that you can continue to, hopefully you can earn money on the exchange. I'm not trying to do that really, but, the plan is, we're at the end of the stream now, but the plan is to just put some videos up in the next, week or so, week or two. Do the videos from this trek. Maybe put up 1 or 2 a week. And recuperate. And figure out how I want the type of exercise I want to do. In the next couple of days, I'll figure that out. Get into even better shape. Because I have almost no love handles anymore, which is great. Even my wife is like, oh my God, you're skinny now. So I feel pretty good about that. But and then to go on a few little treks. And then hopefully I'll go on the big trek in November. That would be, I'd go alone. I don't know anybody else that would go with me other than maybe Mr. Billy. And I don't know that he would go. Maybe he would. Depends on if he's in Thailand or not. He's not in Thailand right now. Other than that, I don't really. Maybe my friend, the filmmaker, he might do it, but that would mean he'd have to come over to Thailand, and he lives in Ecuador at least part of the time. He's trying to live there full time. But anyway, Christmas is a day you don't rush things. Um, and here in Thailand, it's kind of a strange texture. It's people don't wish you Merry Christmas all the time. It's basically the foreigners wishing other people Merry Christmas. It's when I say Merry Christmas to a Thai, then they, oh, Merry Christmas. You know, there's no blaring music, Christmas music here. If you go into the mall, you're going to see Christmas stuff everywhere. But it's a financial thing. That is a commercial aspect. They like the commercial aspect, and they do, you know, Christmas doesn't disappear here. But at home, when I was young, it was much more structured, and here it's very light. You know, I told the wife this year, I go, you know, maybe we should get a Christmas tree. Maybe we should do, and you know, maybe next year we'll do it. Maybe when we have a little time to prepare, I would like to do it. And you know, everybody has to get everybody one gift or something like that. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know, just to change things, because I don't celebrate Thanksgiving anymore. I almost never celebrate Christmas. I don't celebrate Easter. I don't celebrate any of the holidays there. Sometimes I have to remember, oh, it's a holiday there. Oh, it's usually the banks are closed. That's how come I know. But here, you know, the holidays are different. And, you know, December 5th was a holiday. Then I think a couple days later there was a holiday. And for some reason, the schools, Nicholas doesn't have to go to school. But you know, the thing is here is that nobody's performing like, oh, hey, it's Christmas time. Now, at my wife's work, it's a foreign-owned establishment, and she told me, oh, yeah, we have to buy like one little gift for every person. Like, we buy a little gift for one person, and then people just exchange gifts, which is fine. But, you know, it is what it is. Christmas is Christmas, great. And you know, the one thing that I keep thinking is I just got to keep doing what I want to do, because every day that you're here is one less day that you're going to be on Earth. It's one less day. You're a little bit older. And I thought to myself, I don't know if I saw somebody that was 67 and they were having problems walking. Now, I have problems with, I have a bad hip, but my hip didn't really give me any problems. I felt it a little bit sore. I have a bad knee, my left knee. When I was 16, I had a cast on my leg. My feet are bad. One of my feet, I have plantar fasciitis, and I kind of feel it a little bit right now. And then when I get up and walk, I'm like, it takes me a little while to get rolling. And the last time I thought that, I needed hip surgery. So I hope I'm not going to need knee surgery or something like that, or I'm going to be walking with a cane or any of that bullshit. But I thought to myself, I'm 63. By the time I'm 68, I don't know if I can do any of these things anymore. Now, maybe at 63, I can't do some of these things, but I'm going to find out. That's what life's about, challenging yourself. And these are the ways that I can do it. So anyway, I don't really have anything else to say. Merry Christmas to everybody. I'm glad everybody came in and at least some people said hello and Merry Christmas and all that good stuff. There's only 14 people watching right now. I'm sure people right now they're busy. It's Christmas Eve. And, the Christmas holidays tends to be slow on YouTube, which that doesn't bother me. But yeah, I appreciate everybody coming in, and some people saying hello, and everybody who's contributed for the year and previous years, whatever. I appreciate it. I don't know what else to say, but thank you very much. Merry Christmas. I hope you have a happy New Year. Maybe I'll be streaming next week on New Year's Day or the day before. And all I got to say is thank you and goodbye. That's about it. There you go. Thank you there, bud. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Jim, Steve, the other Jim, Cyrus. Who else is here? Paul. Bring hose and death, I guess. Yeah, not that many people talking in the chat today. But that's the way it goes. And until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American I'm back in Bangkok from Umpang. And I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Take care. Be good. Don't get in any trouble. Don't get too drunk over the holidays. And we'll talk soon. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.